have the questions, Tori. I need the questions.
I got them for you. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Let me just close my door. Hold on one second. Okay. Thank you very much for attending today. I guess this is self-explanatory. This is talking about 2016 document management initiatives for you or for management or for both, and what your considerations are for this coming year. Next. Biel's, and I'm the presenter from New York with over 30 years experience, joined by Mike Palmer. He's our national sales representative stationed in Atlanta, Georgia. But the key is here is any questions that you have. Again, it's approximately 50 people are on, 48 or something like that. And questions will be typed and answered at the end. If you have any, please feel free to do that. The time frame is about 20 minutes, and I'll make sure I move right along. Next. So just a little bit of information on ourselves, and just because you have to understand the credibility of who we are and Biel's. But we're the oldest conversion company in the country, started in 1939. You see some of our clients in the states that we work with. The number of software users nationwide are ourselves, as well as the vendors that we bring you products and services. We will try to keep this to industry information, even though we sell particular product lines for particular reasons in which we use our expertise to choose. But hopefully this will be informative for you, that you can make your decisions and search the web for information you want for your 2016 initiative. Next one. So just a few, and these are just a few. Our most recent one, though, was always interesting. That was Buffalo Bills. We started about 16 months ago, and from the simplicity of walking into a big room where there was 90 boxes of contracts from when they started in 1962, even though they're a lousy team and only 6-7, they still have a lot of contracts, and we took it from that position to their accounts payable, to their human resources, to their expense reports that are done now on a mobile path, to sideline information, in which they now usually use laptops and can pull a health report directly from the doctor when someone's injured on the field. So again, kind of a great growing account, but you can see other accounts from around the country. Next. So this is probably the most important slide for those who know or don't know the AIM organization. The AIM organization is Association for Information and Image Management. Very important that you understand this association, as they've been in existence for over 50 years, because the credibility of the information we'll provide for you today is from that organization, and then we'll tie some of their surveys that they've done of what the industry is asking for and what the industry is saying to indicate some areas that you would consider, which is document management, data capture, e-forms or forms processing, to the simplicity or most complex part, which is workflow. So again, the AIM organization is an industry standard, and it's what this company takes surveys and approaches what the market is looking for. Next one. So first, again, is software solutions. Up top, those are different types of products. Again, for listeners on board today, I started myself 25 years ago with Highland. They had 7 employees, 13 employees, and now they have some 1,000 employees. Familiar with FileNet, ECM Toolbox, EMC, FileBound, Cygen, Formato, all different types of softwares. And then the applications in your particular department, hopefully you're on today, is the payables and HR are probably 2 of the primary ones where our business comes from. The HR onboarding is the process in moving things along in the HR environment. Automate data entry is important. The cloud storage has reduced the cost of document management to a simpler monthly solution. Electronic forms is self-explanatory. And then the simple things like a microfilm conversion is just rolls of film you have, or microfiche that you want to convert in a digitized application. And the last one is workflow, which kind of ties all these together in multiple departments. Okay, so document management. Again, as you see these statistics, look at the top three because those are the ones we'll talk about. You can certainly look on your own, but why do you? This was a survey that was done, and these are the responses they received. Why do you think there's still paper in so many business processes? It's lack of management initiatives or mandates to reduce it. We all prefer to touch paper. Lack of understanding, and the physical signatures on paper. So as those are the answers, you have to have the commitment from management. And as we talk about this when we started, what are your 2016 initiatives? Are they being driven from you, who has a real good application within your department, or is it driven from the top that says we need to move into a paperless environment? But you do need the support, and ultimately we'll get to the ROI, which is always what the financial people within an organization are looking for. But as you see here, there are still reasons why people utilize paper, and that's what we need to move away from. Next one. So the conclusion, we just have some conclusions we put in there ourselves in looking at those statistics to bring information from our sense or our understanding. Back sometime there was always the early adapters. Now there's mainstream adoption. The message that paper-free is best practice seems to have reached the information with the attention of business advisors. So it's really increased over the last, 4, 5, 6 years versus when we started 25 or 30 years ago. Everybody said, let's be paperless. And it was consistently growing, but not like the boom that we've had in the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Next one. And this is probably the most important PowerPoint you'll see, and this is why the industry has moved so rapidly to implementing these different doc management, data capture, e-forms processing, workflow solutions. What would you say is the three biggest drivers for scanning and data capture in your organization? Improve the searchability of business documents, improve the process of productivity. That's the workflow that we'll be talking about. Reducing the physical storage. Again, as you see, the next 4 or 5 are all pretty similar at about 30%, so there's different reasons why people utilize data capture software. But the most important thing about data capture software may be the high-end data capture software, and we utilize SciGen, or the definition of my next statement is very important. The copier organizations or the copier companies are now in this business as well in the data capture, and they certainly don't have expertise as technology companies would. They don't really have the higher quality capture products as a company like a technology company like ourselves or others would have. But just the statement of them getting into this business and selling copiers that have data capture capabilities and multifunctional devices that have data capture abilities indicate that this is the reason why this industry is growing and the quality of data capture. So that's what you want to understand, and that's the conclusion being the next one. So when it comes to priorities for capture products, over half, 50%, are looking for automate more processes using document classification. 27% need to increase the speed of delivery to the next process. 26% want to improve security and compliance, and 23% are looking to capture their systems to take advantage of the most recent improvements to capture. So again, this is the value, and in the capture area or data capture area, AP processing is probably the leader, and then it really breaks down to sales order entry or whatever it is. So it's reducing the number of people who do data entry, or it's just improving the process with capture as well as workflow. Again, these are all from AIM. This is what the industry is indicating, and this is what we're commenting on today. Next one. So from AIM, there wasn't much on electronic forms, so we just kind of put a statement down here ourselves and what we feel significant about this. The exploring issues around PDF forms, electronic signatures are important. You can kind of read it for yourself, but that's really what's happening where these paper forms are being digitized, and the key is in the HR onboarding as example, and the best example is how people have to do it electronically now versus paper, and it makes sure that they don't miss anything. It verifies that when it's done, it goes to the proper people. It verifies that when it goes to people and they don't respond to it or answer questions, move the process along because it's sitting on their desk, that no longer occurs because it's time for a day or 24 hours, and then it moves to somebody else. People are on vacation, it moves the process along. So there's a lot of things in the HR environment unequivocally that electronic forms is a real value for and can benefit any organization. Oh, next one. So probably the most important PowerPoint. The definition of workflow is self-explanatory in the previous 3 PowerPoints of data capture, electronic forms, and document management. The value of these technologies is now the simplicity of the defined workflow, which really increases the productivity and gives you the ROI that you need. So in the AIM environment, the question was, how would you describe the level of workflow BPM capabilities that you have for paper-free processes? And as you see there, a lot of different answers. And the key answer, though, is workflow is becoming a bigger part of the industry because it's been simplified where it can be done with point-and-click technology of the software you purchased. There are ECM toolboxes, a toolbox used to complement any document management system you have, and it's really stabilized that workflow process that you don't need a consultant. You really just need the individuals within your organization, the company with some experience that can do it, and really sitting down and understanding what are these business processes, and then you plug workflow into that, and it streamlines the operation and ultimately will give you the ROI that you need for justification. So that's really the key, and probably the most important PowerPoint here is this one. Anybody, let me break here, but anybody who needs these PowerPoints for presentations they make or to review, just please send us an email. We'll get them right out to you. Next one. So overall, staying on the workflow part, overall, what would you say has generally been the payback period for these paper-free processes? Again, as you see some of those things, 3 months and 6 months and 12 months, 18 months, you know, those first 4 or 5 is all within an 18-month period, which is a much higher ROI than people need to have. Our most recent one was with a board and dairy organization. We're in New York, board and dairy is in Dallas, Texas, and we reduced their data entry people from 13 to 3 in the process of the delivery truck people delivering milk or delivering product and bringing back their invoices and then putting them in a pile to be sent, to be mailed out, or to be scanned are now automated through their process, and it's been a great success. And it's one of the applications that we found and been able to produce a $300,000 ROI savings in the first year. And that's what you're really looking for from a workflow process. Next one. So again, there's the tendency of, or the conclusion of the workflow, focusing in areas of AP in shorter process cycles, better compliance, and it's very strong and evident in the benefits of software. The next one. So again, just some partners that we utilize, but organizations have. The RVI, and specifically is the AS400 world, which is an older world, but certainly um, a product and a service that we can work with AS400 and implement doc management and data capture products around and with. And the other ones are just organizations in hardware and software and um, um, Formata services and data capture services as well. Okay. So with that said, that's 20 minutes on the nose, and maybe I can answer a couple questions if there are any. And if I do that, we'll be done in just a few minutes. Any questions so far?
Yeah, Paul, we've got some questions here.
Okay, let me take a look.
Okay, so I have the first one. I'll just read them to you if you
Okay.
want.
Please.
What are the next steps in getting started if we want to venture into document management software?
Well, it's really the first step of, again, back to the beginning of the support, and please call for these PowerPoints. We'd be glad to look at them, we'll send them to you. Go to the AIM site, AIIM, and look at what the industry is saying for doc management, and then, then you do the normal business process of contacting some vendors, listening to what their approach would be, and certainly learning it for your own process that you'd be setting up.
Okay, great. Our second one is, do you have any ROI examples?
Yeah, that's what you want to only get from us, but from anybody. In data capture, they should be able to show you ROI examples of reducing data entry people. They should be able to show you ROI examples of the business process and the time that was saved. So that would be the objective that you'd advise your vendor from the first day they come in, is how can we work together to have an ROI that I could present to management. So that is the success of the product and why this industry is booming in the last, again, 3 or 5 years.
Okay, another one of our attendees wants to know how they decide on which software to go with.
Well, I think that's in any product or service that you choose. You're looking at the track record of the organization, the pricing. Again, in the data capture world, there are some different and simple data capture capabilities that can be loaded on a multifunctional device, in which you may only want to capture some small segment of documentation to put into a workflow process. And then something like SiGen, and I'll just use that as a high-end example, is a quality capture product with speed and capabilities and reading a line item detail and capturing information from any location on the page. All the reasons why that technology has improved, that you'd want to see multiple products, and of course you have your budget of what you can spend, why and how, and so forth.
Okay, last
Three
question.
General questions, but pretty good. Anything else?
We should have one more question here, Paul.
Go ahead.
What's the best product for reducing data entry?
Yeah, I guess I'm repeating myself. It's a data capture product for sure. So go online, look under data capture. We'll contact ourselves. The Kofax product is a good product. SiGen's a good product. AnyDoc is a good product. So there's multiple products in the industry, but they all made great improvements over the years, and that's the consideration that you probably want to look at. Okay, so then in closing, thank you for your time. We at Biel's try to run these on a monthly basis and try to provide industry information for you. Look forward to seeing some of the emails we may send. Any questions, please go directly to our site, biels.com, and hopefully we can answer or get you any information you may desire. Again, thank you for your time and your attendance to this webinar today.